First of all, I wanted to say thank you to Vanessa, Walter, and Eddie and Ian that invited me to take this 25 push-up challenge based on mental health. And I guess it's awareness, for a lot of people out there that's really struggling with their mental health. And I saw my cousin done it, I think, the end of last year, Mamui, that she is watching. And also I've seen, there's a lot going on with it. And, I'm hoping that I wasn't going to take on the challenge because, I'm actually, there's a lot going on, right now, taking the session and also a lot of other challenge that's going on. But I wanted to take part only for a reason is it's something that I have been really, what is it called? I wanted to be part of it because I knew from my journey that without talking about it, I would be a different story back then. I would have probably end up somewhere else, whether it's having more kids to somewhere else or breaking up with my marriage, not be able to follow my passion and my purpose in life. I wouldn't even find out all those things, if I was hold on to a lot of things, I have to say that I never thought of taking my own life or like being suicidal, but there is a light, because there was one time that was last year that's actually come to the point that it was too hard to hold on to a lot of things, that especially an abuse side of it, as I couldn't handle it anymore. I couldn't hold on to a lot of things anymore. So it come to the point that I've got to make the choice, I've got to go back and and face or confront the guy that's done it to me, and then I'll end up taking my own life, and stuff like that. But I never ever talk about it, and I guess it's something that I wanted to do it because I know that there's a lot of teenagers out there that struggle with, and also a lot of parents out there that's really struggle with, and I think a lot of male as well that's really struggle with, because I know myself that it is really hard talking about it, because coming from being someone born and raised over there, it's very different in the way that brought up over here. And I guess sometimes it is hard to talk about it because we have to think about our family, we have to think about our the people that's our friends, and I wonder who's gonna hurt their feelings, or am I going to say something wrong and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, you've got to look after yourself. For me, is I've got to look after myself, just making sure that I can get it out of me, and move on and be able to help somebody from it. I think if you understand, or it's one of the reasons why I keep going. I'm not, I think now I'm not as active or sharing as much as I used to back then. But now as I'm slowing down, and also I'm looking at my purpose and the reason why I went through such a hard, I think it's hard, but it's nowhere near as hard as everybody else that's been through, If I think about it, my upbringing, growing up without a dad, and 12 brothers and sisters that I never had sort of like a close relationship, growing up together and have a family together. I think that's one of the reasons why it's keep driving me to do these things, is I want our families to be able to grow up together and have a good relationship, mum, dad, and their kids, and even brothers and sisters, have a really good relationship, enjoy life, and be able to be happy. You know, no fighting, no violation, and the cycle keep going on and on and on. So for me, it's I like to share this because I'm thinking, like, if how many people that we can actually help from this mental health, or even suffer from trauma, or what had happened to you back in the days, or in your past, or your upbringing, that I can tell you what, that's not you, and it's something that I was really struggle with. Is I always, even now, I still have that self-doubt of myself, of what I do. Can I move forward from what I'm doing? Am I doing the right thing? Start asking those questions about, am I going to upset anybody? Am I going to do this? Is somebody going to be unhappy? And all those sort of things that's going on and on and on in my head. But I keep going back into my purpose and the reason why I do it. I think it's just understanding that I'm doing it to help somebody that actually can't talk and hold on to all the problems, and they end up, especially our teenagers, that they can't deal with a lot of things, and what is the easier way for them to deal with it is taking their own life. So, and if our mom and the dad, or somebody that's really close to you, sort of like cut you out, or you're not part of the family, we don't want you to be part of our life. I find it really, really hard, but talking about it, I mean, for me, is to ask somebody, are you okay? Is everything's okay? Can I help you? Is there anything that I can help you with? Or saying that I do want to talk about it, And one of the things that I really, really encourage people to do is to talk about it, find somebody knowing the reason why you're doing it. If you're not comfortable of sharing with everybody, maybe your family, and probably your family it should be the right place to share, and it should be the right people to be able to share with. But sometimes it is hard because your family, sometimes it's charged, quickly charge you what you say and say, who are you speaking up with those things? That's not right, that's not how I do things. Our culture is blah blah blah. But deep down that that you wanted to help them out, or even finding somebody that can be close to you and be there for you to be able to open up and talk about it. So I'm hoping that this challenge, that the 25 push-ups challenge, that not only that you physically challenge yourself, but mentally have to think about it, that it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to talk about your problems. It's okay to talk about your mental illness that you're going on. It's okay to talk about your past, And one of the lessons that I've learned so far throughout this journey is I was living under my fear of that people's gonna judge me of how I speak. English is my second language, and also I was Samoan born, or sometimes I said to myself that you don't know what is it like to be a good father, because you didn't have a father, and all those things that it hurt. But I said, I think after I've done talking about with my psychologist and counseling, and also my wife, and share with all of our Better Lifestyle Fitness family back then, it helped me to recognize and realize my purpose in life, and why I went through that whole journey. The hard time, growing up without a dad, being abused when I was young, being overstayed here 5 years, and starting this business from nothing to where we are now. And meet some other people that I would never ever thought that I would meet before. So it is quite a nice journey, but that's on the other side. If you're only just starting your journey now, now is the time for you to start talking about it. If you really want to move forward or go on the other side of the hard time that you've been through, you've got to have to let it go, and you've got to have to find somebody that you're comfortable, or even that somebody that can listen to you and let all those things out, you know, and deal with a lot of things. And one of the things that I know that a lot of Pacific Island people do struggle with is they don't like sharing. They don't like talking about it. As much as they say that we are family and we're really close, we're not. We're not sharing as much as we should be, and we're not talking about it and trying to help each other out. We quickly judge, or separate from others. You know, we quickly look at the negative rather than looking at the positive, or even thinking about that we help. And this is including some people, you know, some high leaders in other communities is including, you know, and I'm not here to judge anybody or saying, but if that's the way they're being brought up and that's the way that they're being talked to, then, you know, how would they know? You know, of course, sometimes every now and again, I slip off. You know, I slip off from what I want to do to all habits, you know, from yelling at my kids or not talking about to my wife when I had some problems, or not be able to, you know, pick up the phones and call my family and have that self-doubt of like, I wonder if my families are happy with me. I wonder if my family's judging me of what I'm doing. You know, I wonder if my family's, you know, so I always have that if, I wonder if. But then I have to sit my back, pull myself out and say, nah, they can think about anything at all, you know, my friends, my family and the people that are close to me, that's up to them. But it has nothing to do with our relationship with them. My relationship with anybody is good, you know, as long as I'm good, that's fine. But if I start having no self-doubt and having that negative talk, and be able to, you know, and I don't want it to share, I wanted to hold on to a lot of problems. I don't want it to share to my wife, as much as my wife seeing me that's unhappy and not talking about it, and they get really frustrated and angry about it. Sometimes she just, you know, she doesn't want to talk to me because she was too afraid. You know, sometimes we talk about it afterward, but I don't want you to feel that way. I want you to feel that you know, this is the time for you to move forward from everything that you've gone. Look at what happened to the COVID-19. Everybody's now spending a lot of time with their family and friends, you know, and I mean family and kids, you know, their partners and their kids. And that makes me, you know, again, appreciate where I came from Samoa to here, knowing that I can do anything, you know. I appreciate my country, you know, I can go out and work in the land and find the food, and, you know, we can live in one house that we don't have to pay any mortgage on it, and appreciate a lot of things over there. But over here, you know, it is hard. It's find it hard because, you know, the mum and the dad will go out and do their own things, especially on the work, because they want to earn the money to look after the family. Is the money really the problems? Who knows? So, you know, as I said, I can go all day, and I just wanted to send this message out. You know, I did not want to, I mean, I was fatigued. My body's fatigued and tired. Just to be honest to you, I was thinking about it. But the more people that you know, invited me to do the challenge, you know, it makes me realize that I do need to do it, and hopefully that I can talk about it more and inspire and help other people as well to be able to do the same thing. That it's okay to talk about it, you know, and all the other things, that opinions from other people's, that we hold on to it and thinking that this, you know, is this really who I am? And you start asking those questions, it's not really, you know, that's not who I am. I do, you know, I'm here to help people. So, okay, I'm hoping that will help you out, you know, with this challenge. My nominator, who would I nominate? I'll post it up on there anyway. So I'll think about it. Who am I going to nominate it? And who can help me out to spread these words? out to our community and also our world as well. So thank you again. Thank you for friends and families, that for those that send the love. I'm hoping that this message will help somebody out there that's struggling with, you know, trauma from the past, their upbringing, and also the suicide, you know. Hopefully that will help somebody from committing suicide and all that sort of thing. Said my wife and her families, you know, cousin that, you know, was really struggled. Even now, you know, with the family, we're still struggling, and we still asking that question, why, you know, why is such a beautiful people, you know? Look what happened to Mangasiwa, you know, such a special and also a funny guy, a very successful person, you know, that we look up to. Look what happened, you know. It's just hard if you don't talk about it, and if you don't spit it out. And I know a lot of our Pacific people struggle big time with it, because they think that if I spread it out, you know, will make my family look bad and all that sort of stuff. It ain't gonna make your family look bad. You know, it might feel that way, but it's actually not. You look at the positive side. That's the reason why you're going through, and that's the reason why you're doing it. So I'm enjoying it. It's only day 3. I can definitely feel on the other good thing is I can actually feel on my my tricep. So thank you again. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Mamoe.